Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Principles of Empire at War. I'm White Lightning playing Star Wars Empire at War in the Thrawn's Revenge mod as the New Republic. Was planning on running out a little bit of time in between last episode and this episode, and look what I got. A surprise attack from the Greater Maldrood coming from Centauri's attacking us at Mintuine with a fleet of 600. They have no interdictors in this fleet, so we could retreat if we needed to. I don't think we'll need to, though. We've defended shipyards like this, and I think we've defended Mintuine against fleets that are actually bigger than this. So I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I will probably fast forward it in 30 seconds or less, and you can see what the outcome is on the other side. Alright, I am back after a successful defense of Mintuine against the marauding Greater Maldrood. Killed a couple of admirals there, did end up losing an MC-80. You guys probably saw what really killed us was the garrison units spawned in really far forward, and with the Maldrood ships being so fast, that's kind of their thing, is they're just fast, the Maldrood ships are, and they were just able to get up on us and take out those couple of shipyard spawns very quickly. But it's okay, again, a victory is a victory, and we didn't end up losing too much from it, so that's okay. So, these Mandalorians keep being bugged out, so I'm going to see if I can sell some. Actually, no, I'm going to come back to Endor and see if we can fight off 244 pop cap with 166 pop cap. Ooh, perhaps not. And they do have some admirals here. Ali Tarek, Dagan Neres. They've got an Ephodio. They've got 3 Prolipsy interdictors. Okay, interesting. 3 interdictors. We'll see. I might end up losing this fleet unless we can take out those Prolipsies. We do not have the most space stations here. Ah, this is the risk. See? Yeah, I don't think we're going to be successful in winning this one. We'll just have to try to play it carefully and see if there's anybody we can get out. We could retreat the Quasars because they have the single unit retreat option, and that might be what we do after we lose everything else. We'll see what sort of damage we can do, I guess, but they are playing with a command tier 3 bonus and then a tier 6 bonus. They're Prolipses, those are the interdictors that they've got, like I say. They've got them over on this left-hand side. Not a lot of point defense around, but they do have a fair number of fighters, so I don't know if we'll be able to get through and get our fighters in to take them down. Not Greater Maldrood, Empire of the Hand ships are also quite fast, and so they're going to be working with something of speed advantage. A-Wings, I just need you guys running some interference for me so you can start dogfighting there, and we're going to see if we can go back to front, which is typically not how you want to do things. You get a UTI that way. We're going to try to go back to front on this formation of Prolipses and see if we can take them down with some bombers and fighter strikes, perhaps. I'm not super optimistic. Let's get all of our X-Wings, Y-Wings, Z95s, unit of H-Wings there. We don't have a ton of bombers here, but if we can take down it, even just... Oh, no, they don't have... no, they do have a destructible gravity well generator hardpoint. If we could even just take down the gravity well generator hardpoints first, that would be pretty cool. Otherwise, really not a lot of options for us. We could try to focus down a couple of these capital ships, a couple of these Syndics. I'm going to go ahead on this Dauntless and hit the jamming, sensor jamming, and we'll see if we can avoid at least some of the fire and damage coming in at us. But yeah, I am not optimistic. Bombs coming in. Our bombers are chasing their interdictors, which is perhaps not ideal. Perhaps I should have gone front to back on these. But what I was kind of hoping would happen is the... Oh yeah, and they've got these Prolipses back pretty far in the back line. Unfortunate. If I could I send the Dauntlesses up to charging up? And now, I'm going to single unit retreat these Quasars, see if we can get at least them out before the Syndic kills them.
No good. I can't maneuver. I've lost engine 2.
But there's about to be one
We've lost our engine.
interdictor with the shields down.
This isn't looking good.
We're losing Dauntlesses. We got one Quasar out, and that might be the sole survivor of this battle. That's unfortunate, because we got this really nice mist carrier. We're not even probably going to end up taking down their Syndic. That is unfortunate. And yeah, I haven't even taken down the shields on that Prolipsy. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and auto-resolve. I don't think there's much point fighting this out. But there is a partial fleet, a fleet, really, any grouping of ships is a fleet. There is a fleet, including with many of our unique ships, destroyed over Endor. Unfortunate, so we're going to have to fall back on defending Endor on the ground, which was kind of what we had intended to do, right? Maybe I should have just kept the fleet over Bakura. Might end up losing Bakura on the ground too. We might be able to build up a few more ground troops there. I'll delete those if I need to. If the Empire of the Hand gets their ground forces into Endor quickly enough, I will cancel that construction so I can have more money to build turrets and stuff at Endor. But for now, really not much we can do. I can, this is the thing I've tried to do this several times, we could sell those kind of useless Mandalorian commando platoons, because they are broken. The spawn on those is apparently broken in this version of the mod that I'm using. But yeah, very unfortunate. And I have the Spoth and Spy that I can deploy on Klaatuine. Let's take a look at what it's got going on. Fair amount, actually. We're not going to be able to easily take that, conquer that. A little unfortunate. We'll come down here to Honoghr, and we should now be able to double tax this planet because we're full in space, right? Yep, full in space. We've got all the slots are full, and we next month will be able to double tax Honoghr. Then bring this fleet down from Mon Calamari to Mintuine, and that's going to be the start of the fleet, which again we might have Akbar take over. Okay, they have moved away from Klaatuine. What is on the ground at Klaatuine? A lot of infantry, some vehicles. Okay, I'm thinking we be a little bit bold here. We will deploy Holt's fleet, again Arhul Holt, first use of his fleet with him in command, and we'll send him over to Klaatuine and see if we can secure that planet, at least the space over that planet. I'm thinking we send him to Klaatuine, and then I'm actually going to queue up this little fleet moving down, and we'll set Klaatuine as the rally point for them. Also going to come over to Honoghr before I forget and set up that double taxing, and go ahead and begin this. Begin the fight. So yeah, very unfortunate. I told you all that I needed more fleets. And I am very correct, because we have tons of fronts that we are getting attacked on. Yeah, that was a problematic experience there over Endor. So let's bring in Holt, who, as we say, is in this Maelstrom battle cruiser. So this is a Clone Wars era ship. You can see looks like basically a bigger, like a jumbo version of the Venators from Revenge of the Sith, right? With this double bridge structure. Very cool looking ship, I think. Bring in our MC-80 here. We've got a lot of Liberators. Oh, and we've got the Home One too. I was about to say, not the tankiest fleet that we've got here, but then I remembered the Home One, and I was like, okay, yeah, we're good. We're good on tank here. We are all fine here. How are you?
Orders received.
Bring in our assault frigates, and I do not want them to try to retreat, so I'm going to bring in this interdictor sooner rather than later, and then we'll get our point defense in. Bring in a couple of these MC-30s, bring in this Namana, and we're ready to rock.
Yes, Commander.
So this Star Destroyer that's up in the front here will have our MC-80 and our Dauntless. Start working on it. Home One, you can turn and start working on this next Star Destroyer, and we'll send Holt in as well. Assault frigates, you can just kind of gang up, dogpile on this close Star Destroyer, and we'll get all of our fighters, because they are pretty much spawned in now, and have them work on this next Star Destroyer, the one in the back. Get our A-Wings, start dogfighting. Greater Maldrood, fighters is not their strength, which is great, because fighters is kind of our strength right now. Like across the board, across the map, doctrinally. New Republic just has a lot of fighters.
Where to, Commander? Take out those turbo lasers.
And let's see, let's send the Home One up a little bit farther. I want to get up farther and then hit power to shields on that so that can take more of the damage and maybe save this Dauntless from some trouble. Meanwhile, these little guys, including the tenders, let's move them up a little closer here. And this set, you guys can move on in and start working on this new Star Destroyer that's just showed up. Star Destroyers on Star Destroyers, quite a number of Star Destroyers that we're dealing with now. But you know what? That's what you get when you're fighting an Imperial Remnant faction. Especially the Maldrood, they seem to build a lot of these Star Destroyers, which is funny because they're kind of their shtick. The way the faction is designed is supposed to be a lot of smaller ships, a lot of frigates, but the AI doesn't always agree with that. Doesn't always comply. And we might lose this Dauntless, which would make me sad. See if we can split up our damage just a little bit. Having quite this much firepower over here on this side of the map, probably not ideal, not what we wanted to do. But let's have them go for these heavy dual turbo lasers, and then you, my friend, can start working on this heavy dual turbo laser. If we can take down the turbo laser type weapons that are facing that Dauntless, we may stand a chance with it. If we can take those down quickly. Also, I'll go ahead and bring in this tender here. And if we can get a little bit extra tending points on it, that might help as well. Tending a little faster. Not loving all this that's going on. Yeah, we're about to lose that Dauntless, and there it goes. Unfortunate. But, you know, bigger fleet actually than I think I was expecting to find here. 6 Star Destroyers and a victory or 2, and then a bunch of support ships, of course. Nothing to sneer at. Nothing to sneer at. It's okay, still mostly a full fleet under Holt's command. We're definitely going to have to do some fleet rebuilding here, though. These tenders probably are helping them out too. I maybe should have been focusing the tenders rather than the Star Destroyers. Tenders don't tend to do a ton of good for the larger ships because they heal... They don't heal the hull damage on the larger ships, they're just basically healing one hardpoint at a time, I think is how they work. And so you're more efficient using tenders with the ships that are just getting their entire health pool healed instead of just a hardpoint at a time, is my understanding of it. And that's why you see me tend to put the Nebulon B tenders with the other Nebulon Bs with the CR90s so that they can be a little more effective. It's not that they're going to be useless when you are using them to tend on the capital ships, they're just not going to be quite so effective. But we have completed the destruction of the Maldrood fleet. We'll now complete the destruction of the Maldrood starbases and shipyards over Klaatuine. Then I think with Luke's army we'll be able to conquer Klaatuine pretty quickly. No problem. Send this group of this half of the fleet, this task group, back to the shipyard, and we can go ahead and fast forward. Going to be done soon. And then once we conquer this planet, our territory will be fully contiguous with itself, so we can move reinforcements freely from Mon Calamari all the way down to Bakura. Yeah, lost a Dauntless, but took out 3 Tectors, 2 Imperial Star Destroyers, and some support ships as well as shipyards. So maybe that was 170 fleet cap. Felt like it might have been a little bit chunkier than that, but you know it will be okay. So I'm actually going to grab Holt's fleet and move him back to Bimisari, and then I'm going to take the ground forces with Luke here on Bimisari and move him over to Klaatuine. I'm going to hold off on doing that quite yet until I know that fleet's going to come back. Enemy fleet is about to invade Endor. Oh, and the Empire of the Hand moved away. Well, that stinks. They just came in, broke our fleet, and then ran away. That is really upsetting and unfortunate. Well, what are we going to do about this? I think the answer is hurry up and cobble together a new fleet of primarily Celestin ships.
Vehicle in production.
Another couple of Dauntlesses, another couple of Liberators, and Quasars. And see if we can rush them over real quick to provide some basic defense for Endor. Because otherwise Endor on the ground is just going to be exposed, and then Bakura on the ground is going to be super exposed, which is a problem, because all we have on Bakura is barracks. And I am kind of afraid to sell one and build like an advanced vehicle factory or something, because what if we get attacked in the meantime? The odds of that happening are quite high. So let's get a couple more infantry there. It'll provide at least some defensive capability. And then we do have these cloud cars. One at Bijak, one at Sluis Van. Let's see if we can grab the Sluis Van ones and move them over to Bakura. They might just run into enemy forces at Endor. That might have been a mistake, but we got to do something, right? And I can't really afford to move any of these fleets back to the far southwest side of the galaxy. That is not really an option for us. Good news is we do have these forces that originally came from Sullust, that original fleet that we had. So we should be able to move them up, and we'll have then a decent medium-sized fleet over Klaatuine. But we've got the army in place there, no reason to wait. Luke, go on in, do what you do best, and maybe get shot by these airplanes and these medium tanks, because Maldrood is going to have a lot of vehicles on this map. So the key for us is going to be our own heavy vehicles. I think that's going to work best, is if we go sooner rather than later in on the heavy tanks. Okay, taking a look at this map, we spawned down here at the southwest corner. There is a command post with 6 reinforcement points, which is a number I don't normally see there. Clear up on the northwest side, and then perhaps a little closer to our starting position is another 6 on the southeast. So really, it doesn't matter which direction we go. I'm going to tell Luke to sprint.
You'll find I'm full of surprise.
As soon as I unpause, I'm going to tell Luke to sprint, and then I'm going to bring in another set of infantry. And you know how I do. I like those fast units, so let's bring in the free runners here. And then the cloud cars. Now, the cloud cars aren't going to be super useful except for scouting. And I'd rather devote that population cap to a little more infantry or vehicles. This infantry, your one job, really, not just your main job, your one job is going to be to come up and grab this repair location. Luke is taking this command post, which is great. As soon as he does, we'll be able to drop in some heavy tanks to support him. So let's bring in these guys here, and then we'll bring in... that's not going to be super useful either. We'll bring in another set of infantry. Luke, you can run in and just slice that tank. That should be fine. We do have some anti-air tanks as well, which is something that I'm always complaining that I don't have. Have no artillery in this battle, because I keep letting my artillery die, so we're going to need to reconstitute that for sure. Yeah, our armies could use some TLC. I'm actually going to walk these guys over and build an anti-vehicle turret there, and then I'm going to bring these free runners up to assist. This is also a good time to bring in our turbo blimp and have it swing up and assist. And then these guys are going to come down and build, I think, an anti-vehicle turret right there. You can bring in another set of heavy tanks, no reason to keep those in reserve. And infantry, you can go up. You're not going to be epic against these medium tanks. I think they have some anti-infantry capability, but you're going to be a heck of a lot better than nothing. And you know what? I could actually bring in some guys to help those infantry tenders and bring them in to help. Let's build an anti-vehicle turret there, and then this infantry is going to inhabit that bunker, and I'm going to bring the turbo blimp up as well. Okay, so anti-aircraft tanks are doing fine. Really, nothing for them to anti-air yet in this match. Let's go ahead and move this column with the heavy tanks up front. Let's move them up closer towards the base. Luke, you can also get closer up towards the base, and I would actually love... It looks like there's a capturable turbo laser turret there for Luke. I would love for him to snag that. This infantry is going to build an anti-vehicle turret there as well, and then I will go ahead and have them join this column. We'll keep our light vehicles with our infantry back a little bit farther. Oh, and unfortunately, they have secured that turbo laser turret, and we're about to lose one of our heavy tanks. Turbo blimp, get in there, please. Go, gadget turbo blimp. If Luke could hurry up and capture this turbo laser, it's now neutral, so it's not fighting against us. Oh, turbo blimp, get back. There's an anti-air turret. Wow, they really had that section locked down. That was an unpleasant place for us to walk into with our column of forces. Luke, though, you can start working on that infantry, and then we'll bring our lighter guys up while we bring our heavier vehicles up as well. Turbo blimp, you're good to get in here. Anti-air tanks, which maybe I'll learn the name once and for all. The T-1Bs, oh yeah, just deleted those guys. Awesome. Heavy tanks pull back just a little bit. Don't want you to get too far advanced without any infantry support or anti-infantry support, because this infantry can't. Heavy tanks unsupported, just like in real life, right? Heavy armor unsupported by infantry or lighter tanks or whatever, something with a more designated anti-personnel role. Heavy tanks are not going to last long against infantry. There's always something that infantry has in their toolkit that can wipe out or at least give a really difficult time to your heavier vehicles. So speaking of which, I'm going to send these guys down. We've got this bunker holding out. Send them down and hopefully destroy that infantry there. Yeah, this column will go ahead and move up, and then the free runners can hopefully deal with, along with the turbo blimp, of course, can hopefully deal with these guys here. We have a bombing run available. Infantry, go ahead and pull on back. Luke, get up there and start dealing with their infantry. Infantry, we want you to pull back. And then heavy tanks get up and deal with their heavier tanks, which are these Swift Assault 5s. It's one of the heavier options that the Maldrood has in its inventory as far as vehicles go. We want our heavy tanks up front, again, to do that tanking. It's in the name, it's their job. Looking for a target that we can bomb with our bombing run. I'm going to send these guys around to this command post, see if they built a field base there, and we have some infantry that we need to destroy. That's a definite possibility there. Luke, come on in here, and then we're going to drop the bombing run on their capital building. I think that'll eliminate the most threatening vehicles that they have, most threatening units in their inventory. Will not be an issue for us if we can take care of those. So infantry. Okay, deal with that infantry support platform, please. Luke's getting shot in the face by an anti-vehicle turret. What else is new? And I'm going to send this turbo blimp back to get repairs. Looks like they do indeed have a field base and anti-vehicle turret there. I'm actually going to do the opposite there. Free runners come on back. Turbo blimp going forward, take down that field base and this anti-vehicle turret. Lost a free runner there. Shouldn't lose the unit from it.
Stay close to me.
Luke, where is he? Luke, you're again getting shot in the face by that anti-vehicle turret. Not exactly what I want to see from you. But we're getting you some support. All y'all run up there and get that turret. Luke, sprint away. A little bit close there for Luke. I almost lost him just out of carelessness, which is the worst reason to lose a unit, frankly. Free runners can kill that. And the turbo blimp, which has full health again. Awesome, didn't lose any hard points or anything. Can hold down this side of the map. Alright. Our main attack force here can take out the remaining Maldrood factories, and Tatooine will very soon be ours. We control pretty much the whole map, so the free runners can come on up and we can just bombard this factory, and we should be set. Skadoosh! Got it. Okay, Tatooine, not to be confused with Tatooine. No unit losses there, I don't think. Maybe a set of infantry? Actually, no. Well, yeah, maybe a set of infantry. Otherwise, I don't think we lost any units for reals, which is great. Coming over to Bimasari, I do... you are getting fully built up there. Coming down to slay Hayron. I need something with an advanced vehicle factory in this area of space. Mintuine doesn't have it. Mon Calamari definitely doesn't have it. Delacrix is an ideal candidate for double taxation because it'll be relatively easy to fill up its slots. Let's come to slay Hayron and build an advanced vehicle factory. And over here at Kashyyyk, we've almost got the basic infrastructure built out. Honestly, that might be a good place for an advanced vehicle factory also. Or a heavy vehicle factory. I keep saying advanced. Heavy vehicle factory might be a good place for Kashyyyk. And on Kashyyyk, because it is such a defensible on-ground planet, I'm going to go ahead and grab a planetary shield generator there as well. I know that's a lot of structures queued up for potentially little gain, but I think it'll pay off for us. And now we own Tatooine and our territory is connected, so that is absolutely fantastic. Now, where do we move next? We move to Bimasari and we queue up a Bothan spy. That's what we're going to do. And then just wait and let this invasion over Endor happen. Oh yeah, there it is. They've only got 64 little fleet power there, which is more than I've got in my little fleet of 6 over Bakura. Whopping 6. Unfortunate. I'm going to grab a mid-episode save real quick. Be right back. Okay, and I don't think they have any... Oh, they actually just left over Endor. Curious, why are you the way that you are, Empire of the Hand? Why don't you just leave me alone? What did I ever do to you? Also, hey, Empire. How did you even get here, dude? This is a Compeller battlecruiser with a combined total fleet power of over 400. How I don't understand how they even got over here. That is crazy. That is bananas. At least I have enough infantry on Bakura, right? In fact, I have enough infantry that I might feel okay selling one of the barracks and building something else. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, and this little fleet that we're building over Sullust is not going to cut the mustard, is it? Okay, so all that being said, I have this fleet here, which I've just worked at some expense and effort to get massed over Tatooine. I might need to move it down south. And then what I'll do is grab our heroes here and use them on defense.
I understand.
Enemy fleet is about to invade Bakura. Yeah, can't say I'm shocked there, buddy. Let's see if we can get this Quasar out of the way. We can save even just one Quasar's life. That'll be good. We are not going to save these Cloud Cars' lives, though, unfortunately. They are going to YOLO right into this enemy fleet at Bakura. Yeah, that's going to be the Empire attacking us. We are beset. Problems in the south. I am going to do this. I'm going to get this fleet moving down. Yeah, next. I'm going to auto-resolve that. Yeah, nothing to be done there. Get this fleet starting to move down. And I'll just kind of hop them on down. The next place I'll send them is all the way to Sullust. And then we'll have a decent-sized fleet here in the south to replenish the one that we've already lost. Yeah, they didn't end up sending very much. 58, but again, more than one little Quasar with a pop cap of 6 could handle. Okay, and then Han, Chewie, and then we've got Cien Tev, who has won the New Republic elections. Okay, so this opens up some interesting new possibilities for us. Namely, we can build Bulwark 3s, which is awesome. You can't see it now, but if we click on the Bulwark 3, it's a big battle cruiser equivalent to the Home 1 type. We can no longer build Home 1 types, but that's okay. I think we have 3 of those kicking around total, not counting Akbar. Ooh, speaking of which, did I want to send Akbar down with those guys to Sullust? That might be the smart thing to do. Here, I'll grab Lando. Oh, and there's a space battle over Bakura. Let's see if we can retreat these Cloud Cars and have them live another day. This is... Okay, so we're starting to feel the pressure from Cruel AI. We are getting pummeled and attacked from a lot of different sides by all of these enemies. We're at war with the whole galaxy, right? And we're bordering so much of the galaxy. That's part of the issue with our strategy to join up our territory and wrap around, is we just have a lot of borders now with the bad guys, with all the different enemies. And so having all of those borders makes us a little more vulnerable. So this is the episode of kind of ignoble retreats, or noble retreats, depending on how you view it. So I'm going to move Lando
Enemy fleet.
up here to Tatooine. They're about to invade Endor. Outrageous. Just awful. Okay. And I think I'm going to have to just grab these guys and move them all back to Sullust. It's unfortunate. And they're about to invade Tatooine, which I have some forces on the ground there. Let's grab Holt's fleet and move back over to Tatooine. I did not queue up the space station construction there, so that's actually a win for me, because I'm not going to lose out on any money there. I need Holt to get to Tatooine before Lando does. And then I'm going to come over here and grab Akbar. Take a look at how this fleet is doing. 275. Okay. Who is this coming? This is Mon Mothma making her way up. I'm going to put her on Ubrikia and start building another start building another shipyard probably. Let's get this fleet down to Emberline, and then we'll move Akbar himself down to Emberline as well. And yes, we're weakening ourselves up here on Kashyyyk. We're also opening ourselves up. Wow, and they're coming for Shardon. We are beset on many fronts. Thankfully, we made it to Klaatuine, and we do have an interdictor in this fleet. Yes, we do. So we're going to be able to pop these guys. They have 2 interdictors, but you guys thought I would be stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. Let's go. So we're going to be able to whittle down this little Maldrood fleet before they can do anything bad to us, which is great. Lando, you get back. You're going to be absolutely useless in this type of a space battle. We'll move our big ships. Honestly, you can just start going for their big ships.
Reporting in.
Just kind of box select these guys, or tell them to start charging ahead, because the little ships are going to have an easier time catching up with them. This is interesting. Oh yeah, we've got the Drexel Starfighter squadrons. Okay, so these are some newer starfighters that we have. These general purpose attack fighter squadrons are part of the fleet. Oh yeah, these are coming off of the Namana light cruiser, which is that Bakuran ship that we built. And these Drexels are part of our renewed commitment as a government to patronizing the loyal defenders and citizens and corporations of Sullust. Feels a little bit grafty the way I've set this up, doesn't it? My bad, that was not my intention, but yeah, it feels like, you know, Cian won hut space, therefore the Sullustans need all of the perks and all of the favors. Seems a little bit crony, but you know what? Nothing says we have a mature government, mature, thriving democracy. Nothing says that like a little bit of graft, a little bit of crony capitalism, right? That's just the way things are sometimes. LOL. Okay, so we're doing okay here. The Home 1 type is, as desired, up front, taking a lot of damage from the Star Destroyers, but that is exactly what I want it to be doing. Meanwhile, Holt here is doing work on this ISD, and we've already got the shields down on this one interdictor. So these interdictor Star Destroyers, they're only 21 pop caps, so they're significantly weaker than a regular Star Destroyer in terms of just pure combat power. Their value is they have these gravity well generators, obviously. Those are good for not only preventing retreats, but they can... I don't often use my interdictors this way, but you can do similar to what the Dauntlesses can do, and you can jam missiles that are coming in. At least the smart missiles, the guided missiles. So you can see we have a lot of damage on this Maelstrom. Let's see, 6 light proton torpedoes that is just being negated because they have their missile jamming field turned on. Yeah, and it's still turned on apparently, even though we've destroyed the hard point for the gravity well generator. But yeah, that gravity well generator functions as a pretty effective, pretty functional missile jammer. I just don't tend to use my interdictors in that way. The nice thing about the big interdictors that the Empire has is they do have that option. Okay. And they're a little tankier than you might otherwise see on a smaller interdictor like the ones the New Republic has. Let's take this spy up to Metalorn and, you know, spy there. I'll drop Luke and his army there. No, I will not. I will come back over for yet another big defense of Shardon with Admiral Nance and his funky bunch here. So, similar to the battle you saw at the beginning of the episode, I am going to fast forward this one because you guys have seen this defense of this exact planet before in very similar situation before, and in 30 seconds or less you're going to see it again. Okay, well, that was kind of an interesting battle. Ended up getting to capture a Star Destroyer, actually, but I think because this was the last enemy unit on the playing field, the battle just wouldn't end. Like, I controlled the unit, I controlled the ship, but the battle didn't end, and so I clicked auto-resolve, and because of that I lost an MC-80B in the auto-resolve, plus the goal in 3, so more expensive than it was worth. Did end up getting this really cool Star Destroyer though, so I'm going to throw that over in Nance's fleet, unless I want to put it in this fleet with Akbar. That actually, I think, is what I'm going to do, is move it over to Sullust, and then going to wait for the next month to roll over, and probably at Chardon, or potentially down at Sullust, actually no, Sullust is busy. At Chardon, I'll probably queue up another MC-80B and have that start working there. Meanwhile, we've got Mon Mothma working her slow but steady way up to Ubrikia to start us on another starbase there. Metalorn, that doesn't have a ton going on there. I will, I think, go ahead and leave Lando here at Klaatuine, and I'll move Holt's fleet back to Bimasari. I'd rather keep Bimasari intact over space and just rely on defending Klaatuine on the ground. In fact, I'll move Lando to the ground on Klaatuine as well. He can help out on the defense there and help give some discounts to the building up down there as well. But yeah, many defenses in this episode today. Akbar's fleet is about ready to move out. Let's move Mon Mothma the rest of the way up and take Akbar all the way down to Sullust, where he's going to pick up these ships down here and then be ready to move over and do yet another Akbar fleet action over Endor, probably, as we have to chase off some of those enemy fleets there. But I think that's going to go ahead and do it. Oh, an enemy fleet is about to invade Mon Calamari. Don't like to see that. Move Regab's fleet back, which Regab does have over 300 there. Yes, excellent. And then we'll take a look at this mission here. If we raid Commodore and destroy one Altor transport ship, we will get 3 Dreadnought heavy cruisers, which honestly, oh boy, that is a ways in there. Not a convenient place for us to go to raid, clear up to Commodore. That kind of stinks. We've got ground construction going here on Kashyyyk. Let's get a couple of these structures going in space as well. Hopefully we're able to deter any hostile action either from the corporate sector, which has a lot of planets here, or from the Maldrood, which has, like, this is the core Maldrood territory right here, and we've already seen they have some pretty chunky fleets rocking around here. So that's kind of scary. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the episode there. Hope everybody had a good time watching. I had a good time playing, but it's making me a little nervous how much action we're seeing up here. There is lots going on, lots to think about, lots to be concerned about, and boy am I concerned. So thanks again for watching. Hope you have... yeah, 1 Dauntless is fine here. Hope you all have a good day. See you next time for episode 21.